There's nothing like a good night's rest and a cryopod to get you ready for a day filled with building a new base. I am excited for today, so let's get started. Well, what's on the agenda for today? I think we need to... Ooh, what have we here? FTL has left a message for me. Ooh boy, we'll have to take a look at that. First, let's take a look at what we're going to be doing to the base. We're going to be connecting everything up via conveyors, probably throwing a reactor in here if we can, because the solar panels are, well, they're good enough to get this station up and running so it doesn't despawn, and it looks like the batteries are charging quite well. But we need a proper power source, and we need some proper defenses. Probably throw around a couple of walls, maybe a decoy or two, in case we get attacked. And from there, we can have our little outpost for our spacer base to help protect the Anomaly from those who would exploit it for nefarious purposes. But before we do that, it looks like we have a message from an enemy faction. Let's bring out our gun. In fact, you know what? I am going to straight up bring my entire ship over here because I don't know what's over there. It could just straight up be a trap. I'm going to set my guns to not be on right now, just in case there is an actual message there and not just a trap. So if it does happen to be a trap, we'll just turn on all our guns and blow it away, hopefully. We do have a camera on here we can use to kind of look around a little bit, I believe at least. I don't think the camera's on the front of the ship though, so that might be a little bit interesting trying to maneuver that. But I would like to take a look, make sure there's no weapons on it before we head over there. I believe the camera that we do have is on the bottom of the ship for the connector, but we'll still take a look at it. Let's see here. In fact, if I'm going to just kind of point it like this, and... yeah, actually, let's bring up our camera. View it. Can I see... oh, the message is over there. Can I see it? It looks like it's just... whoop. From the looks of it, it looks like it's an antenna and a screen or two. So I don't see any weapons sticking off of it, so we might actually be okay. I think we'll actually be able to head over there without worrying. So let's do that. However, I am going to turn off the weapons, just to be sure. If I recall correctly, the FTL faction is the faction that attacked the Reliant way back when, which basically kicked off this whole thing. So I'm going to be a little bit cautious as to what they're going to say and what they're going to suggest, but I'm getting a little bit close here. We're within firing range and we're not getting attacked, so that's good news. I don't think they're the ones that attacked the Commissar. I believe that was a different faction. I was looking at the metadata on those videos, and they came from two separate locations, and the FTL faction was not in the vicinity of where the Commissar was, but they were definitely the ones that attacked the Reliant, so whatever they're saying, I'm going to take with a grain of salt. So let's definitely have our gun out for certain. And let's see what they have to say. I want to make sure I have ammunition. Okay, I have some ammunition. It'll be enough. Okay. Let's see, what do we have on this side? Well, if they have enough resources that they can just waste on a base like this, I'm not too happy about that. We'll have to see. Hey Pat, this is a outpost base of FTL. As you and your other spacers know, we are heavily armed and will attack at all costs. Yes, I do believe I recall you attacked one of our faction members. We were recently attacked by a spacer named Nemesis Prime. Yes, I do recall that. That was in retaliation to the Reliant attack. And we have attacked and destroyed his bases and ships. Yes, you did. You are part of the Spacer faction, but we decided not to attack you or the main Spacer base, which is probably a good thing because I'm guessing you wouldn't make it through all the defenses. But we are warning you. The spacers are on our watch list, and we are on high alert. This message isn't only about the attacks, though. We have been mining at the Anomaly for a while now and saw that you made a small base near it. If you try to take over the Anomaly, we will take you over. We are not only a faction that likes to attack, we are the rulers and like to keep the peace. If attacking is not needed, it will not happen. But this is a fair warning. Do not take over the Anomaly to yourself and the spacers. It will be shared among the whole server and factions. Thanks for reading. Ruler of the Universe. I don't think so. So as you know, history is often written by the victors, and he's already trying to write himself out of the wrongdoings that he did by attacking the Reliant needlessly and mercilessly, killing its crew. So, although I do agree that the Anomaly should belong to anyone, it should not belong to those who attack without base and those who attack unprovoked. And this faction clearly attacks unprovoked, and we will not let that stand. So I think we have ourselves a mission. We're going to let this message sit here in space for now. But we're going to keep work on our base so that we can prove that their faction is the one that attacks unprovoked. And we don't want any faction on this server who attacks unprovoked because, well, number one, that doesn't make it fun for the rest of everybody. And number two, well, that's exactly what we don't need. So I think we have our mission, and that's going to be to put the FTL faction in their place. However, to do that, we need to get this base up and running and get the defenses up and running relatively quickly, because if they can destroy a ship like the Reliant without much work at all, they can probably take out this base relatively quickly too. So we need to get this base up and running and the defenses up and running really quickly. So I think we're going to prioritize getting some armor blocks around everything and probably getting some defensive pods out so that we can defend this asteroid at all costs. And then once we can defend this asteroid, we can defend the Anomaly from specifically factions like FTL, while still allowing all the other, server folks to enjoy and reap its benefits. However, a faction like that who attacks unprovoked shall not stand. So let's head back. We are running relatively low on ice, so I think we're going to make getting some ice a priority as well. Alright. What I'm going to do actually is I'm going to just put the ship like this, and then I'm going to turn off gravity. Let's go in here. We're going to go to our gravity. That's not how you spell gravity. That's how you spell it. We're going to toggle that off. Number one, that will save on power a little bit, but more importantly, we'll be able to put a gravity generator on the outpost. Oop. Let's not go in there. Let's go out here. And let's begin work on our base. Well, to do that, we do need some components right away. I think because we're going to start with conveyors, let's see if we have any interior plate. Alright, we'll grab as much interior plate as we can, some steel plate. That'll at least get the blocks down. And let's see exactly what we're going to do. So let's see here. Let's get an assembler in our build list. Let's get some conveyor junctions. And some conveyor tubes. Alright. So what we're going to do is we're going to have at least, I'd say, 3 assemblers. 2 refineries with speed modules should be able to feed 3 assemblers pretty easily. And then we're going to have conveyor junctions coming from this large container, which are going to be fed by the refineries. And over here, we can just, I think we'll be able to fit Yeah, these conveyor tubes should be just fine. Alright, there we go. So the refinery will be able to feed into the large cargo container, which will feed the assemblers. And now the assemblers will probably want to spit out their goods somewhere. So let's put some stuff down here. And we're going to have to expand the base a little bit because we're going to want another large cargo container for all of the finished goods to be kept. And also, eventually, we're going to want to expand the base this way a little bit. We'll get rid of the solar panels and relocate them. And we're also going to want to have some conveyor tubes go up into a connector so that we can connect a mining ship, which we will have to build. So that we can just mine with our mining ship, connect it to the refinery, empty out all the goods, and be done. But this mining ship that we're going to build is going to be a little bit better than the one we've previously built because we want it to be able to tunnel and mine into the asteroid as well. Over there's plenty of resources, however, they're not all surface level. So we'll have to have a ship that can completely tunnel, but that will be a little bit later. We need to get our base up and running first. Alright, so that's that. And now we're going to want the large cargo container. We'll place this right about there. Actually, it's not quite in line, so let's move this. Actually, it was in line. Let's keep that right there. And then we will connect this via conveyor junctions. Oop, actually, we don't need it to be that far away. My mistake. Let's place it right here. And then those conveyor junctions will go directly into this cargo container. And this is where part of our base is going to be. So also, we should plan out some of our defenses. Let's get our Gatling turret. Where shall we start putting defenses? I think we're going to be going over here a little bit. If they're coming from over here, they'll probably come on the surface level of the asteroid, and we'll want several cannons over here. And let's put another Gatling cannon. I tend to like to put Gatling cannons first so they can shoot down incoming missiles. And then behind that we'll have missile launchers. So how many was this? This was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's what we're going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we'll put a conveyor with another Gatling turret. Whoop, the wrong way. That's a little better. And we'll probably want, I would say, one more. In fact, I think that'll be good for now. We have a lot to build right now, which will consume quite a few resources, and we'll continue on with our base building. And as we build our base out, we'll add more defenses. But this should be adequate for now. So, you know what time it is. It's that time. progress on the base. We've got all of our mining and refining and assembling all built, as well as the cargo containers to boot, and we have some galling turrets now. I already am utilizing the refineries, as we see here. We are refining some stuff that I have mined, which is good because right now we only have one refinery in there, and it's not quite up to the task of building everything that we need. However, as a result of using this, our power is draining, so we need to get some reactors up and running as soon as possible. So, let's go do that. We're going to just start off with some small reactors. Eventually we'll probably want a big reactor, but small ones are good for now because, well, number one, they're redundant, so if one goes down, you always have a backup. They aren't as efficient as one large one, but we also don't need one large one because we don't have that much power needs right now. So let's go to production, large blocks, let's go to reactor. So we need silver, gravel, cobalt, nickel. Actually, one thing we don't have a lot of is gravel because we've been mining actual minerals instead of just rock. So we might have to get some gravel if we're going to do that. So let's get a couple of them built. Right now we're just making a bunch of stuff. And we will use it, but let's get this down. I think we need some steel plates for that, and I don't know if I have any in my inventory. I do not. So let's grab some steel plates. And there it is. Might as well grab some construction components while we're at it. Do I have any reactor components? I do. Not a lot. I believe we'll need some small steel tubes and large steel tubes and probably a display or two. Okay. Let's find where do we want to put our reactors. Generally speaking, in the center of the base where it's well protected from attacks is a good spot. So what I'm going to do is I think maybe... Well, we're going to create this as a hallway. So if we have it like this, I know it's going to be on its side, but at least it'll be connected to the conveyors and we'll be able to access it. So we're going to put 3 nuclear reactors here. So this is going to be a hallway eventually at some point in time, and we'll be able to access everything here. That'll kind of be wasted space for now. However, we might use it for something else in the future. So we need some metal grids, motors, and reactor components, and that's really about it to finish these. So let's grab what we can. So we're looking for some grids. We have plenty of that. And I know we have some motors too. Let's drop some of that in there. We don't need this, don't need that, don't need that. So we need some motors, metal grids, and reactor components, which we do not have any reactor components. But that is just fine. And we'll almost be able to finish that one. Not quite, though. One thing I would like to do before we end is I would like to, as I had stated earlier in the episode, finish walling off this section. So, unfortunately, these solar panels are going to have to go. We're going to relocate them somewhere else. But we need a wall for now, so we're going to build that. I'm not even sure if we have enough steel plates for it, but one thing I do know is that this particular station can now build it, so we're going to go into production, and we have some stuff queued up, but we don't have the materials for it, so we'll make a bunch of steel plates right now. We'll need several thousand for what we need. We're just going to make it out of light armor blocks for now, but eventually we will want to have some heavy armor, especially if there is a person who fancies himself as the emperor of this universe. And you know, power always goes to people's heads, so we got to make sure that that doesn't happen. And if they have a large fleet, which they do, we're going to have to watch out and be well protected. So let's grab what steel plates we do have. And, oh, we have a couple thousand in there. And there's a little bit of ore that's left to be refined. I believe there's... where's our refinery? Whoop. Let's throw this in the refinery. I'm guessing we probably need to refine it. Oh, yeah. Yes, as you saw during the montage, I did grab some valuable resources from the Anomaly, and we are already using them. And there we go. I'm actually going to grab some of the... I believe we're going to need some silver on the station to refine, so I'm going to grab some silver and refine it over here, because there's enough silver in the ship right now, so... let's throw this in here, and once the nickel is done getting refined, then we can refine the silver over here. Okay, now let's get building. Let's see, is that that's heavy armor. We don't want heavy, we want light. There we go. And let's start placing our blocks down. And after we do this, we're probably going to want to build a mining ship, because mining by hand is getting a little bit tedious and taking quite a lot of work. So we're going to want to build a mining ship as our next objective. Well, it looks like I have my work cut out for me. I certainly have a lot of stuff to weld up. And, well, this base is not even nearly finished. Probably going to put a landing pad on the top of here so we can land our mining ship on here. But for now, this will have to do. So, I think I'm going to have to get to work. So, I'll see you guys next time.